want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Ha Rakah Kodash. Double honors to our apostle elders, which rule Great Millstone well, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure into the end. Shalom above the ball. So I came across this article in Independent, and it says Netanyahu warns, quote, "This is not the end." After Israel and the Hezbollah exchange heavy fire in major escalation. All right, this is prophetic with what he said. All right, Matthew 24, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, which this is Yahweh Shai, and the Mount of Olives is outside of Jerusalem. All right, so he's pretty much looking towards Jerusalem, and what he tells them, it says in verse 1, and Yahweh Shai went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple, which when you go into these precepts, they'll show you that it's speaking about the actual physical temple that was in Jerusalem. That they're praising how nice it is. It says in verse 2, and Yahweh Shai said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. So he's actually prophesying the destruction of that land, all right, which hasn't happened yet. And that's why they ask him while he's sitting there looking on Jerusalem. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, because he intrigued them with what he said, because they knew that Israel was going to receive the kingdom of heaven, but now you're telling me that Israel is going to be destroyed? So they went to him to ask more questions. The disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming? So it's going to happen at the coming of Yahweh Shai, and of the end of the world, which that word world isn't talking about the whole entire world. It's talking about the actual end of the age of the so-called white man. Because back then you had Greeks and Romans. All right, at this time it would have been the Romans ruling, but before that you had the Greeks, and then when the Romans took over, you had the Greco-Roman Empire. All right, so that word age, world, ion or eon, all right, it says an unbroken age. So it's talking about the reign, the age of the so-called white race from the Greeks until now, which they have the beast system. America's the whore. The European Union is the beast, and NATO is their teeth. All right. So it says the end of the world. And Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. And just by the way, perhaps you're new to this truth. If you're a woman, hey, go listen to your husband at home. And if you're a woman that's not married, hey, if you ain't looking to repent, don't watch my videos. These videos are for the elect men of Israel. All right. So now the name Jesus there is not correct. All right. In the Greek, it would be Jesus. It wouldn't even be Jesus. Jesus is an English word, modern. All right. Jesus would be the Greek, but it tells you that this is a Hebrew origin word or name, okay? And when you go into the lexicon, they actually have it right here, right? Right there. See, they put Jesus, but if you were able to read the Hebrew, right, you would be able to read that and see that it says Yah, Ha, Wa, Sha, I. Yah, Ha, Wa, Sha, I. He, Yah, Hawa, Shai, delivers. All right? He is the deliverer, Yahweh Shai, not Jesus. The true name is Yahweh Shai. All right? It says, and Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, take heed, so pay attention, that no man deceive you. Right? Why? Because the devil on the left hand is working in deception. All right? And he's working through men. He's working through the so-called white man and the other nations, the heathen, and he's working through even the reprobates of Israel, which the Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which have been scattered throughout the world in slavery. It says, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, and shall deceive many. Right? That's why you get this false Messiah, Jesus Christ. That's a false Christ. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, which we're hearing of rumors of wars and of wars, World War III. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Because they still have to make that implantable microchip, the MOTB, mandatory for buying and selling, so that them that take it can actually be destroyed in that nuclear destruction. Because at the same time as Israel, filled with militaries of the world, are going to be melted, the American dream is going to be melted. Babylon the Great is going to actually suffer 200 million nuclear missiles by its allies and its enemies, according to biblical prophecy. All right, so the end is not yet. The end is when Babylon the Great, America, is actually going to suffer a nuclear destruction. The hopeful elect, the prophets, and them that cleave to them, the Israelites that are going to be saved, they're going to be called out of this earth by a holy voice from heaven into a chariot, gathered by the angels to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. But whoever's left in America, they won't survive it, because it's going to be such a great judgment. And the whole earth is going to rattle from this judgment. And they're going to hide themselves, hoping to die in that judgment and not have to face the Lord. All right? It says, for nation shall rise against nation, which is a race war, and kingdom against kingdom, a world war. And there shall be famines and pestilences, which is happening, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, talking about the prophet, the Israelite, and shall kill you, but not all of us shall die. They're only going to sacrifice a certain number that fulfills prophecy. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. All right, so we're going to be persecuted, executed, imprisoned, made homeless, or all these different things because of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Because we believe in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Because we preach Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right? and we're not of the world. And that's evident of that because the world would love us. But because it hates us, that shows we're with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, not this evil, wicked world that the so-called white man, the wicked, is ruling. All right? So they're going to persecute us because we speak the truth. It says, and then shall many be offended. So the Lord's going to turn it upon them, upon their own head. They're going to literally, their own houses are going to be killing each other. You're going to have neighbor against neighbor, husband against wife, the parents against the children. All right? The Lord's going to pretty much show no mercy to the heathen and these Israelites that are reprobates in judgment, and shall betray one another. And then even, like I said, according to prophecy, the allies of Babylon the Great are going to shoot missiles on America. So the allies to this whore is going to hate the whore, as it's prophesied. So the Lord's going to turn the hearts of these men against each other for fucking with his saints. It says, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise and deceive many, which is happening. And because iniquity shall abound, meaning it's only going to get more evil and more wickeder. All right? Pretty much it's going to be like a time like no other. And it says in the prophecies that the bodies you're going to see so many bodies, it's going to look like, if you ever been to the park where there's a bunch of geese and there's just shit everywhere, where every step you take there's shit, it tells you that the bodies are going to be like dung. Everybody that you see walking around today, for the most part, is going to die in judgment. All right? But the great judgment is the lake of fire, the nuclear destruction of America, after they make that implantable microchip mandatory for buying and selling worldwide. It says, but he, dealing with the hopeful elect of Israel, that shall endure unto the end, which we make up the body of Yahushua. Yahushua is our head, and the head of Yahushua is Yahweh. It says, the same shall be saved. So that's what we're hoping for. We're prisoners of hope, and our hope is that Yahweh will send his son, Yahushua, to save us. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world, which it has happened since 2007. It's been on the internet, reaching all four corners of the world, for a witness unto all nations. So that's what we are, the ones that preach this. We are those witnesses that were prophesied, that would stand upon our feet and begin to prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great. It says, and the reason why we were preaching this truth amongst all these nations is because Israel, the Israelites, been scattered amongst all the other nations. So they're going to look like the other nations. All right? It says, and then shall the end come. So we're close to the end, but the end is not yet, because the MOTB, the implantable microchip, has not been made mandatory for buying and selling worldwide. When that takes place, then you know that the end is very much more near, because them that receive that implantable microchip, they're going to be in that nuclear destruction. It tells you that in Revelation 14 and 9. Revelation 14 and 9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, right, which this beast is talking about the so-called white man, and his image, his system, which he rules the world with, and receive his mark, which is that implantable microchip, in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, which is America. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And when you go into this holy angels, it tells you who it is. It says, holy angels. It says a messenger, envoy, one who is sent, an angel, a messenger. But it actually tells you here, a pastor. So it's talking about the saints. All right? The saints, which bring tidings, right? And that's what you got in, not Matthew, Revelation 20 and verse, 18, Revelation 18. Last one. I'll go ahead and end it with this here. Revelation 18 and 20. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, which are the pastors of Israel, for Yahweh and his son Yahushai hath avenged you on her. So, hey, that's why we always be praying for the downfall of Babylon the Great by saying, in Hebrew, may the Lord judge the wicked. All right? Yahweh Mashapayim, call Adawamium, all Edomites, Wa Gawayim, right? And all the heathen, above Baal, right? And may he send evil on Babylon. Shalom to the elect, starting with the head apostles of the great that rule great millstone well, and shalom to all the rest of you brothers of the hopeful elect moving in the Holy Spirit. May you endure into the end. Shalom, wa ba.